The yard is loud until it isn't. A tray skids on concrete. A boot stops it. A voice orders a man to kneel. Phones rise. Faces tilt. No one breathes. The man lowers himself. He doesn't shake. He doesn't beg. His eyes lift once. Quiet eyes. A flash there says, "You picked the wrong target." Tank likes a stage. He has a crowd. He has guards who look away. He has lines he repeats like prayer. He says the yard has rules. He says pain is the teacher. He calls the new man by a name that is not his. He wants the man to crawl, to lick, to bark. He wants to turn a person into a prop. The new man moves slow. He does as told, but his shoulders are set like stone. His breath is steady, in, out, you can count with him. 3 beats, then 3 beats more. He chews on shame. He swallows it dry. Why is he calm? Why is he still? Why is the crowd quieter now than before? A metal tray rings once and spins like a coin. It slows, it wobbles. It falls flat. The yard hears it. The yard remembers it. The yard doesn't know why, but something started. Tank smirks. He thinks he won. He thinks the lesson is done. It isn't. This is not a weak man learning rules. This is a strong man measuring a monster. Hold that picture. Knees on concrete. Eyes steady. Breath even. A storm that does not show its wind. He isn't what he looks like. Tank rules with 3 tools: shame, pain, audience. He knows people are scared of being small in public. He knows fear is louder when a camera is on. He knows a guard who smiles when money is right. This is the yard's chain. Pull one link and the whole chain moves. He gives the crowd a show. He throws slop, he laughs. He calls it training. He wants the new man to be a mirror that tells everyone else you are next. That's the issue here. Power used like a hobby. Statistics are not needed. You can see it. The yard flinches when Tank walks. Men look down. Some get hard eyes to hide soft hearts. Some pretend to laugh so they won't be picked. This is how a bully grows. He eats silence. He drinks looks that look away. But there is a problem Tank doesn't see. The new man does not feed him. His face does not crack. His breath is a metronome. Slow. Exact. He treats pain like a room he can walk through and back out of. The crowd senses the gap. They don't know what it is, but they feel it, like a cold wind under a closed door, a sign the weather is changing. Tank sees only the collar, the crawl, the mess. He does not see the measuring. He does not see how the new man watches him. Counts his rhythms, times the laughs, marks the loyal ones, notes the weak link. A king who doesn't study his own stage is already losing the script. A half second will expose it. You don't need a long bio. You need one idea. This man learned to move in ways the eye can't follow. Years of practice. Years of breath work. Years of learning when not to swing. One night a fight ended a life. He never fought again. He promised. Now he is here. Papers say short sentence, rumors say bar fight. But the body says something else. Shoulders like a swimmer. Hips that turn without noise. Feet that land like cats on carpet. That's not street. That's craft. Why would a man like this kneel? Why would a man like this crawl? Only 2 good reasons: fear for a family or mission bigger than self. He shows no panic. No panic means someone trained him to see slow when life speeds up. This is the curiosity pull. What secret job needs a man to swallow this? Why hide a blade in a bouquet? Why cover a storm in a blanket? A tattoo covers his back. Not for style. For story. It maps a walk through fire. It says fall, climb, rise. It says hurt can be weight you lift on purpose. It says pain can be bricks for a bridge. He eats the shame to earn the door it opens. He files the keys in his head. Names, times, who looks at who buys who gets paid to look away. The past is not to show off. It is to explain why he can wait. The half second is coming. Here is the justify lever. Some evils only fall from inside. On the outside, doors lock. On the inside, doors talk. Money flows. Orders slip through small cracks. Real names are said in low rooms. You need ears in those rooms. So the man with steady breath takes a smaller name. He takes a shorter bed. He lets them think he is just another body the world can bend. He chooses to be less so the truth can be more. He meets a counselor with careful eyes. Their talk is normal to anyone listening, but the real message rides under the words. A question that means, are you still whole? An answer that means, I'm on track. 2 people making calm in storm. Fear works on a clock. Excitement does too. He must balance both. Too soon and the case dies. Too late and he might. So he uses breath like a tool. He parks pain in a box and he counts to 10. He lets shame roll over him like water over stone. He does not take it home. People think courage is loud. Sometimes it is quiet as a held inhale. Sometimes it's doing nothing while every cell screams to do something. That's the fight today. That's power with the safety on. The mission is not to win a fight. The mission is to end a system. The mission is to pull one pin and drop a whole tent. But missions crack when pride talks. Pride says, "Show them now." He answers pride with a whisper, "Not yet." The tell finally shows. Today the trick is simple. Use hunger to grind a man thin. Make him work for crumbs. Make him perform for scraps. Cameras watch. Comments pour. Keys jingle. Laughter sticks like oil. He chews. He obeys. He does not look up. Shame digs its nails into the soft part of a man's neck. It says you are small. You are dirty. You are a joke. That's the insecurity line. It can break a back faster than sticks. But he sets tiny wins. He controls one thing. Breath. He drinks water slow. He counts steps to the sink. He moves his eyes, not his head, to map the room. He chooses not to hate. Hate is loud. Hate makes hands shake. He needs still hands. He hears names called at doors. He hears who brings phones in, who carries batteries, who pays who. Pain has a smell, but so does power. He notes both, and then it happens. In a swipe, Tank tries to slam his head down. For half a second, the kneeling man stands inside himself. Hips load, feet set. Spine lines up like a string pulled straight. Weight disappears, then returns. It is clean, it is fast. It is nothing like fear. Tank pauses. He felt a ghost pass through the air and brush his skin. He laughs to save face. But the laugh is thinner than before. He saw something he cannot name. He will try to forget it. He won't. The crowd saw nothing. One man saw everything. A Marine starts counting too. Carlos watches in the quiet way soldiers do. He notes things most people miss. Elbows that never flare. Ankles that never cross. Breathing that rides the bottom of the lungs like a boat on calm water. He knows discipline. He sees it here. He tends bruises with steady hands. He keeps his voice low, almost bored. Casual as cover. He says simple things like, "You move different." The answer is simpler. A shrug, a nod, a maybe. Trust grows in tiny spoonfuls. Not buckets. They share food. They share silence. They share a look when the yard gets loud. These small bridges are stronger than the big speeches men make to themselves in the mirror. Carlos has seen men break. This one bends. There's a difference. One is a dead branch. One is a bow. He starts to keep time. When does Tank circle? How fast do the flunkies respond? Which guard always disappears 10 seconds before something bad? He draws a grid in his head. He places names in boxes. He knows who will run when lights cut. He knows who will sell the boss for a warmer bed. He says one line that matters. "If you ever stand, stand to end this, not to win it." The man nods. That was already the plan. Now 2 minds hold it. Plans are safer when more than one person breathes them. Curiosity builds like a tide. The yard can feel a turn coming. Storms have a smell. This one smells like metal and rain. The show Tank plans is the trap he walks into. Tank loves lights. He builds a channel out of hurt. He turns a prison into a stage and a stage into a store. Money chimes. Comments sting. The worst words wear fake jokes like masks. People far away clap hands they would hide if they were here. This is an issue bigger than 1 yard. It is an engine that pays for pain. It makes boys in basements feel like kings. It makes small men feel tall. It makes Tank think the world is with him. He forgets the world switches sides fast. Our man learns from it. He learns timing, pacing. Tanks need to be seen. A person who must be seen will make the mistake you need. They will step into the center without a helmet. They will point the camera at their own weak spot. Fear is here. Excitement too. The circle is coming. A fight, but he will not fight. He will demonstrate. He will move just enough to show, not enough to destroy. That is hard. The hand wants to finish what the eye starts. He tightens the leash on himself. He practices in slow motion at night. He moves like water under moonlight. He traces the old path his body remembers and stops just short of the last step. He teaches himself again. Less is the win. The stream will be the stage and the knife will be the proof. If it comes out, the story flips. If it doesn't, the court will still hear something it cannot unhear. Either way, the truth is almost ready. Hold your breath. The circle forms. Bullying always thinks it's smart. It tries a brand like cattle. It heats a spoon. It plans to mark a back and own a name. But heat tells truth. It shows nerves. It shows who panics at the wrong second. Steam rises. Hands press. He lets the first touch land. He does not flinch. He needs them to lean in. Then he shifts weight like a door on a silent hinge. Not much, just enough. Metal kisses the wrong palm. A yelp slices the shower noise. Accident, he says. Voice soft. Hands lift the man he should hate. He helps him stand. That help is a mirror. It shows a brutal man a gentle one with more control than pain. It makes the crowd's stomach twist. Something is off here. Something is upside down. This is not a revenge story. It is a proof story. Proof of control. Proof of intent. Proof that a trained hand can land and choose not to break. The crew pulls back. They will say nothing. They fear the boss more than they fear truth. But the boss knows he slipped. He felt it. He will cover that shame with more theater. Good. Theater is light. Light is evidence. Evidence is how monsters trip on their own shoelaces. The next plan will be big. Bigger stage. More eyes, more risk. More greed. All the things that make bad men dumb. He returns to breath. He walks slow back to the cell. He says thank you for water. He closes eyes. He pictures the circle. He counts the ways to do less and still end it. The circle opens. The yard turns into a ring. Lines of bodies. Cameras high. Guards gone. Donations spike. This is the apex of Tank's pride. He stands like a director about to yell action. He forgets the actors can improvise. Tommy enters big. Tattoos loud. Shoulders like doors. He shows a blade for the camera. He thinks fear is a shortcut to victory. It is often a shortcut to mistakes. Our man steps in like a man stepping into a pool. Calm toes, calm eyes. Shirt off so the yard can see what restraint looks like. The tattoo on his back is not a flex. It is a map. It tells you where he went and why he came back. Tank sells a narrative into the lens. He calls one man a pet and the other a champion. He calls it fun. He calls it a lesson. He calls it a show. But a show needs a story beat. Here it is, Tommy rushes. The smaller man is not there. He is 6 inches left, then 4 inches back. His hands don't grab. They guide. He doesn't throw bombs. He turns storms into rain. He doesn't win. He reveals. Phones go quiet for a second. Breaths, too. The yard hears shoes on dust. The mind opens to a new angle. Maybe big is not strong. Maybe quiet is Tommy overextends. A clean body tap folds him. Not to hurt, to stop. The knife clatters. Eyes find it. Cameras catch it. Proof lands on the ground. Tank's stream just flipped from entertainment to evidence. A name returns. This is where fear turns into confirmation. Not myth, method, not magic, mechanics, 3 moves. Less than a blink. Out of the line of the blade. Touch the wrist. Touch the temple. The body sleeps. The air is quiet. Someone whispers the name. It spreads like ink in water. The ghost. The skill the world argued about like a campfire story is now on 400 phones in 400 pockets in one hard circle. By night, millions will see it. By morning, every station will slow it down and draw lines on the screen. But the most important camera is the one in Tank's mind. He watches the number climb and feels the ground fall. He didn't film a pet trick. He filmed his own fall. Our man stands over the quiet body and does nothing. He does not gloat. He does not pose. He checks breath. He steps back. The yard parts. Respect is low volume. It looks like space being made. The psychology beat here is clean. Power can be gentle and still be power. That line sits heavy in every man who ever chose noise to hide fear. The crowd carries that weight home. He knows the spin will start. He knows edits will cut out blades. He knows voices on paid stages will smear. He is ready. He kept his choices tight. He kept his movements clean. Control is the best witness. He walks off without looking back. The spin machine wakes up angry. Morning brings makeup and microphones. Clips cut in half. Headlines with teeth. The goal is simple. Take control from the man who had it and hand it back to the bully with a softer name. They push fear that sounds reasonable. Trained hands are weapons. We must protect the public. They use big words to hide small truths. They forget the internet keeps receipts. Family gets threats. A sister loses work. Windows break. This is the insecurity lever flipped outward. Make the hero doubt his worth by hurting the people he loves. It works on many. It won't work here. He breathes, he waits. Waiting is not losing. Waiting is loading. He sits in a small room alone for most hours. He keeps a routine. Push-ups slow. Water sips slow. Reading slow. Slow as power when the world goes fast. He repeats one promise. Do not become what you're fighting. The smear tries to make him swing wild. Swinging wild ruins cases. He doesn't swing, the court date comes. The show will move indoors. Suits replace tattoos. But the same game runs underneath. Tell a clean lie loud and hope truth shows up late and tired. Truth is not late. Truth has been training too. A small device changes the room. The judge listens. The clip plays. The edited story lands like a neat stack of papers. Safe, easy, comfortable to believe. Then the stack slides. A voice fills the room. Not the heroes, the bullies, orders, plans, the knife. The stream. The payment. It is clean. It is specific. It is the sound of a man who thought no one else was listening. Silence in a courtroom is loud. You can hear fabric rub. You can hear a pen tap. You can hear the grind of a story changing shape. Objections fly. They hit the wall. Doors open. Badges walk in. Calm feet, calm faces. The kind of calm that makes crowds exhale. This is the confirmation beat. All the small control choices add up. Mercy in the ring becomes credibility in the court. The judge doesn't need a speech. She needs a timeline that holds. Now she has one. The bully snarls and stands out of his chair without thinking. He breaks his own mask. Rage shows the true face. Cameras catch it. Microphones keep it. Stories that rely on costume break when the actor forgets he's on stage. The hero says almost nothing. That restraint speaks more than any rant. He lets proof do the talking. He lets the system do its job when it is finally looking the right way. The room shifts from, is he a monster? To how deep does this go? Deep raids roll like thunder. When a big tree falls, you feel the wind far away. Doors kick. Phones ring. Warehouses open. Names spill. Accounts freeze. The stream of money becomes a puddle on the floor. People step around it like it smells bad. It does. Arrests happen in quiet suburbs and loud streets. Some men run. They trip on the same pride. Some men sit and sign. They hand over codes. They name passwords they once said they would die with. No one dies for lies when the lights are on. The yard changes too. Not by magic, by policy. Guards learn eyes forward. Cameras learn to keep their memory. Crowds learn that silence is a bad habit, not a shield. A class opens in a room where fights used to start. A door that once locked early now locks on time. That is the justify lever closing. The hurt bought something. The waiting bought something. The restraint bought change. The hero visits a friend in the ward. Bandages, tubes. A grin that aches. They don't say much. They don't need to. Real friendship is often two nods and a soft joke that no one else would find funny. Numbers will later show drops in violence. Numbers will later show fewer men coming back through the same door. But numbers won't capture the small thing. A kid walking across a yard and not flinching when a boot scuffs near him. The crowd asked, "Can change last?" The answer is not a word. It is a practice. What is power for? 2 years later, a mat lies flat in a bright room. Kids line up with bare feet and wide eyes. The man who once knelt on concrete kneels on soft foam. He shows hands open. He shows stance without anger. He says one clear line, real strength protects. He does not brag about the ring. He does not replay the clip. He teaches breath. He teaches how to step to the side. He teaches how not to pick fights your pride wants and your future can't afford. On a wall behind him, words glow in paint. True strength serves justice. The kids like the word serve. It makes power feel like a job, not a toy. A camera crew asks for a speech. He gives a short one. He tells the truth clean. Sometimes the hardest move is to wait. Sometimes the bravest thing is to hold. Sometimes the win is not a knockout. It is a system fixed, a door unlocked, a boy who gets to grow up. Then he turns to you, the viewer. Soft CTA. If this gave you courage, like and comment. If someone you love is stuck in a bad story, share this with them today. Subscribe so we can teach more people how to protect without hate. He bows to the kids. They bow back. They giggle. They try the stance. They wobble. They find balance. They smile at their own control. The ghost walks among us, not to haunt, to help. And when the world gets loud again, remember the lesson of the yard. Power held is sometimes more powerful than power used. Fade out on small feet, stepping light, breath even, eyes steady.